It's common in stories that center around children and teenagers, where older actors will be cast in these young character roles in an attempt to escape the horrific acting often found in child actors. However, today we're going to be looking at the cast of Supergirl, checking out their real ages, and even who they're hooking up with in the real world. Let's start with the lead. It makes the most sense to kick this list off by discussing the actress behind the show's titular character, with American actress Melissa Benoist. As a fun aside, she's also a rather talented singer, but no doubt Benoist's biggest success in her career has been for her performance as Kara Zor-El, aka Kara Danvers, aka Supergirl. We got there in the end. Kara is the main character of the Supergirl series, as you'd imagine, with the show itself being about her story as she is sent to Earth from her home planet of Krypton at only 13 years of age. She's 24 years old when the show begins properly, living in National City and learning to embrace her powers after spending much of her life trying to hide them. The first season of Supergirl came out in October of 2015, and Melissa Benoist's birthday is in October of 1988, meaning that for her first appearance portraying the mid-20s aged superheroine, she was a little older, around 27 at the time, and is now 33. That's far from being a particularly big age gap, really. Now then, on to her relationships. As you can imagine, Supergirl's love life is pretty complicated, thanks to the whole being an alien with godlike powers thing, but thankfully, it seems that Benoist is having better luck than her on-screen persona. That being said, she didn't get there straight away, having married fellow Glee co-star Blake Jenner at an unknown point, though the earliest it was confirmed was 2015. In December 2016, however, Melissa filed for divorce due to irreconcilable differences, and a year later, the separation was finalized. That same year, she met American actor Chris Wood, helping him with a project of his, and apparently the two hit it off, beginning to date and ultimately getting married in late 2019. The two now have a child together, a son born in 2020. Up next, James Olsen. Mehcad Brooks is the man behind James Olsen, who is the character behind the camera, a prize-winning photographer who acts as a love interest for Supergirl at points in the show, as well as looking out for her in general as a personal favor to Superman. Olsen was one of the show's key players throughout the first 5 seasons. For season 6, Mehcad Brooks took a slight step back from the show, leading to the Olsen character becoming a touch more sporadic. But regardless, he remains an important player in the story. Brooks is 41 years old and has a wealth of experience behind him as a TV actor, having played roles in Desperate Housewives, The Game, and Necessary Roughness, among others, before landing his gig with the CW's Supergirl. There isn't a lot of information available in terms of placing James Olsen's age, with various comic interpretations of the character having him at different ages, though it seems in Supergirl that he is supposed to be an older interpretation of the character, considering his role as an art director, and the fact that he is already a Pulitzer Prize winner by the start of the show. Tracking down Mehcad Brooks' dating story is also quite the task. We know that he had a brief relationship with Canadian actress Serinda Swan, his co-star from the 2011 movie Creature, but they also broke up that same year. It's not until 2018 that we get another piece of info about Brooks' love life, though it seems this entry was his happy ending, as he met Frida Brooks, marrying her as recently as May this year. Moving on, Alex Danvers. Alex Danvers is one of only 4 characters to have appeared in every single season of Supergirl so far. The adopted sister of Kara, who is played by American actress Chyler Leigh, a brilliant physician and scientist who worked for Hank Henshaw at the DEO before eventually making her way to the top of the organization, becoming its new director in season 3. She's possibly the second most important character in the show, just behind Kara herself, and most estimates place her around the age of 26 years old at the start of the series, a couple years older than her adopted sister. This is the first real gap in ages, as Chyler Leigh was 7 years older than her character in 2015 and is 39 today, having had her most recent birthday in April. Back in the year 2000, Leigh worked on the TV series Seventh Heaven, playing the minor character Frankie, a friend of main character Mary Camden, who was played by Jessica Biel. One of Mary's other friends was Johnny, who was played by actor Nathan West. And that is how Leigh met the man she would go on to marry. They began dating after meeting on the show, and in 2002, they officially tied the knot, having a presumably beautiful white wedding in Alaska. They've since had 3 children, a son and 2 daughters, born in 2003, 2006, and 2009, which is a frightening level of consistency. They now enjoy a happy family life and split their time together between houses in Vancouver and Nashville. Now, what about the Martian Manhunter? John Johns, or as he's more popularly known as the Martian Manhunter, is a particularly interesting character in the world of Supergirl. He's someone we initially aren't sure about, as he takes the identity of Hank Henshaw following his death and uses his position to bring about sweeping changes in the DEO. However, we soon learn that the Martian is actually on Earth to watch over both Kara and Alex, due to a promise he made to Jeremiah Danvers. Played by British actor David Harewood, the Martian takes on something of a mentor role within the story, offering the 2 women advice whenever they need it, and playing a key role in many plots, being one of the few characters to appear in all 6 seasons. There's no real information on how old the Martian character is supposed to be, but we do know that David Harewood is now 56, with he having just turned 50 at the time of the show's debut in 2015. He also has, by far, the most normal and simple relationship history I've seen from someone on this list, so kudos to him for that. He married his long-term girlfriend, Christy Handy, in February of 2013, the pair having been together for several years. We don't have any idea when exactly they met or how. They preferred to keep all of that private. St. James, Barbados was the location for their wedding, and they also have 2 daughters, with the entire family living in the Streatham area of London. In an interview, he noted that her best quality is the fact that she keeps me grounded. Aw, isn't that nice? And then there's Win. Winslow Win Schott Jr. is a hugely significant character in the first 3 seasons of Supergirl. He's a tech expert who also happens to be Kara's best friend, leading to him helping her in a whole host of her superheroine-related activities. He helps to develop and create her iconic suit, helps James in becoming the Guardian. The list goes on. While we can't say for certain how old Win is, considering that he is best friends with a 24-year-old Kara, it wouldn't be a stretch to suggest that they are roughly, if not the same, age. Jeremy Jordan is the actor behind Win, a Tony-nominated performer who is most well known for playing Jack Kelly in the Tony Award-winning Broadway show Newsies, and just last month he celebrated his 37th birthday. This would have made him around 31 years of age when he started playing Schott Jr., which isn't particularly close to his character's age, but it's not ridiculously far away either. In the show, Schott has an unrequited crush on Kara, but in real life, Jeremy Jordan has had no problem having his feelings returned. Back when Jeremy Jordan was part of the Broadway show Rock of Ages, actress Ashley Spencer was auditioning for the show, leading to the pair meeting and becoming friends. Things quickly developed, and a few months after their first meeting, they hooked up and have been together ever since. The pair were married in 2012 and welcomed a daughter into the world in 2019. And finally, Kat Grant, played by American actress Callista Flockhart, is well known to Supergirl fans as the founder of the Catco worldwide media company, and, more importantly, the person who discovered that Kara is the cousin of Superman. This leads to Kara being targeted by villains trying to get at Superman, but Kat is on hand to take all of the credit for Kara's newfound fame. Anyways, Callista Flockhart is 57 years old, which would have made her 51 when Supergirl first hit our screens, and she undoubtedly has the most famous spouse on this list. No offense to other entries here, but can you really compete with Harrison Ford? The duo met at the 2002 Golden Globe Awards and married in 2010, and the pair have one child, an adopted son whom Callista adopted at birth. And that's everything. Were you shocked at any of the ages others on this list, feel free to let us know down in the comments. And until next time, see you soon.